Welcome! Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful framework for making our teaching way more impactful. This is especially true if you're using modern tech in the classroom. We're going to break down a super practical approach that can really transform how you think about instruction.
This is the big question, right? It's the central challenge for pretty much every educator out there. We're always trying to figure this out, especially when we're trying to bring in complex, powerful tools like geographic information systems, or GIS, into our lessons.
Well, it turns out there's this fascinating and really practical book that offers up a solution, a clear, structured framework that's designed to tackle this exact problem. And this quote just nails it. It's from the book Facilitating 7 Ways of Learning by James R. Davis and Bridget D. Arendt. And the key thing here is that it's not just about some abstract theory. It's all about making a real, tangible difference in the classroom for you and for your students.
So, what's the big idea? Well, the authors lay out this structure that's built around 7 fundamental ways that people learn. It's a pretty comprehensive model, but it's also wonderfully simple for understanding all the different ways we can acquire knowledge.
Okay, so let's dive into this framework. It lays out 7 distinct ways of learning. You've got behavioral and cognitive learning, learning through inquiry, with mental models, through groups and teams, through virtual realities, and of course, good old experiential learning. I mean, this covers a massive spectrum, right? Everything from direct practice and repetition, all the way to real-world hands-on application.
And here's what makes this framework so incredibly practical. Each way of learning isn't just some fuzzy idea. Nope, it's directly tied to a specific outcome for the student, and it's achieved through very specific teaching methods. So for example, if your goal is to help students develop critical thinking, the method is inquiry-based learning. It's this perfect bridge between what you want them to learn and how you actually get them there.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually connect to a practical, hands-on teaching tool like geographic information systems?
Well, the connection is incredibly direct. It's actually kind of a perfect marriage. The things you do when you teach with GIS line up perfectly with these principles. When your students are asking spatial questions, boom, that's learning through inquiry. When they're using real-world data, you guessed it, that's experiential learning. It's a natural fit.
And here's the real kicker. This connection isn't just partial. It's not some happy accident. GIS as a tool is just so versatile that educators using it are often tapping into all 7 ways of learning, sometimes without even realizing it.
And that versatility? That's really the secret sauce when it comes to using GIS in the classroom. It is absolutely not a one-trick pony.
I mean, think about it. Some tools or methods kind of lock you into one particular style of teaching, right? Well, GIS is fluid. It lets you pivot and adapt. You can meet a ton of different learning objectives and cater to all sorts of student needs, all within a single platform.
And this list just shows you exactly what I'm talking about. Things like group activities, that's learning through groups and teams. Or labs and projects, that's a classic form of experiential learning. These are the bread and butter of teaching with GIS. And every single one of these methods is called out in that 7 ways framework.
So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for you, the educator? Well, this framework gives you 2 really clear, powerful benefits.
First off, it gives you this solid, research-backed argument to take to your administrators. You can show them exactly how GIS supports a whole range of teaching goals. And second, it can act as your own personal roadmap, a guide to help you improve and diversify your own teaching, making sure you're taking full advantage of everything the tool has to offer.
So when you consciously apply this framework to your GIS instruction, you end up right back where we started. Your teaching becomes more intentional, the outcomes get clearer, and frankly, the whole experience just becomes more effective and enjoyable for everyone.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Whether you use GIS or some other tool, think about these 7 ways of learning. How could this structure help you refine and elevate your own teaching approach? How could it make your instruction just that much more purposeful?